Hello, my sweet friends. Okay, I am back in the kitchen today. It seems like it has been forever. We've had all this crazy weather, which I'm hoping is out of here by today, and I hope it is out of your area also. It has kept all of us on the edge. It has had, you know, horrible damage in some areas and lives lost, and it's just awful. But I just haven't cooked this week. I don't know if I've just been on a lazy streak or whatever you would call it, but I've just not been cooking. But I've been back in here and I've been in the kitchen all day today. I've got a roast in the oven, a chuck roast with potatoes and carrots and onions and, all the good stuff. And now I'm fixing to make a pasta salad. This is not a new recipe, so if you're here looking for a new recipe, come back because I do have several that I'm going to be doing after this. But anyway, this is not a new one. This is just my favorite pasta salad. I'm going to go ahead and get y'all down here just so you can kind of see what I'm doing as I talk because I just want to catch up with y'all, okay? Now I've lost my train of thought. Anyway, I had gotten these tomatoes and this cucumber, and I had all these veggies in the fridge, and I thought, what am I going to do with those? They're fixing to ruin if I don't do something, because like I said, I've not cooked anything all week. And so I thought, if I've got the stuff, I should make a pasta salad. Well, guess what? I looked, and just so happened I had every single thing I needed. That's where it comes down to where I talk about my staples. Like I had the Italian dressing, I had the pasta, I had all the stuff. So what I will do the next time I'm doing like a little grocery shop run, I will pick up another bottle of the Italian dressing and another box of pasta and that kind of stuff, because that way, when you pick up your produce and you have it in the fridge, you have your other stuff that you need to go with, something like a pasta salad. So, anyway, I hope y'all are doing well. I know y'all don't care nothing about seeing me cut up these veggies. Like I said, I just wanted to talk with you and check in with you. And I hope none of those tornadoes touched down in your area. They were kind of all over the place. I seen where some were in Arkansas, and then some were in West Tennessee, and just everywhere. I've seen so many videos, y'all, and it's just horrific, the damage and how powerful those things are. It's amazing. This right here is just a little bit of white onion that I diced up really fine because I have some green onions over here, and I'm going to use some of those too. All my veggies have already been washed. This is one of those English cucumbers, y'all. I love these. This is what I always like to use for my salads, any kind of salads. They are just so good. They're so much better than the and I like to just leave the skin on, and in my pasta salads, I like for my cucumbers to be in big chunks. So all I do is cut this thing down the middle and then cut it in pieces just like that. I just like the chunkiness of it for it to kind of stand out. Now when I do one of my spaghetti salads, I do like for the veggies to be a little bit smaller because it's a little bit easier with that type of noodles. But for this, I'm just using the little tricolor pasta. I was so glad to see that I had a box in the cabinet. I really didn't know that I did. They'd kind of gotten pushed back, and so I was so glad to see that I had them. Anyway, so that's what's going on with me today. Like I said, I've got this roast in here, and a lot of this cooking, y'all know I always tell y'all, I'm not going to put that end in there. They don't look that great. I always tell y'all, anytime I cook stuff, it always has a reason, a place, and a purpose. And so all of this is not for me. I do have a place that some of this is going. I won't go any more into detail, but y'all know what I mean. And so, yeah, that's why I say I've got lots I've got to do. And I don't ever just like to cook to make a recipe to show and then just toss it. I don't have it in me to do that. So I have to have either I'm eating it or Braden's eating it or somebody. It's going to an event or going somewhere because I can't stand the thought of that. So this is going to be well taken care of. And I'm going to get some of these onions here done. Let's see. So I just did what? I just did a little bit of white onion, so I think I'm going to do, I don't know if I'll do all of these. But what I like to do is I like to take the white part and just kind of cut up it a little bit so it's not in as big of pieces. I just don't want my onions in real big pieces when it's like a cold salad like this. So I kind of do that and then kind of go with it. And a lot of times I use my scissors, and I think that's what I'm going to do this time. It's just so much easier when it comes down to the onions. Now Bella's doing good. Now I told you she got her bath the other night, and let me tell y'all, she had to have her nails trimmed, and I normally take her and get them done. I don't normally do them. I do occasionally. Well, the other day I thought, well, her nails are getting long. I need to trim them a little bit. Well, guess what? I nicked her a little too short, and it just tore me up. I mean, she was perfectly fine within no time, but it was bleeding, and I just felt so bad. I thought, well, she won't never let me get near those nails again. I might as well, from here on out, plan on taking her somewhere. But on her back paws, she has some of them that are black, and all the ones in the front are all like, you know, the clear white color. And then some of them on the back are the white color, but some of them are dark also. And once they start getting a little long, she will chew on them. And so they're always shorter than the front. And it was we had one more to go when I nicked the one that I nicked. And it was a little black one. And I've never nicked it to where it bled like that. So I felt horrible. But she was fine. And you know, they're so forgiving. Thank goodness. Because I just felt so bad. I've never seen her, like I said, I've never seen it where it would bleed like that, but it sure did, and I hated it. All right, so we got our green onions in there, but let me tell y'all, so I've got several new things, like I said, that I'm wanting to cook. And that's why I say a lot of times too, y'all, like I've got a list a mile long of new things to show you, but I've got to have a reason to fix it. I can't just fix up a big batch of something and me just eat a little bit of it and then it just go to waste, you know. So that's why I have to find the right time to fix this stuff. But anyway, y'all are not going to believe this, but I have one of my new things that I'm going to do is a little dessert recipe. It is a little Easter dessert. It's super cute. When I seen it, I thought, okay, I've got to do that and show my friends because it's perfect for kids. They'll love it for your kids, your grandkids. And so I grabbed the stuff. It's an inexpensive little dessert, and I'm going to do it. And I hope it turns out great, and I think y'all will love it. And the kids will love it. So I got that, and then I have another new little recipe that I'm wanting to do. It's called pizza muffins. That's a super simple, little kid-friendly recipe also. Simple and inexpensive. And of course, I've got more big dinner dishes that I want to do. I've got a chicken, a one-pot pan chicken recipe I want to do in the oven with some potatoes and other stuff. I just, and I've got the chicken in the freezer. I just haven't been wanting anything that heavy or big lately, so I'll get to it whenever I get a hunger for it, I guess. But these little tomatoes, I like to still, even though they're small, I still like to cut them in fours. If y'all see what I'm doing here, that's how I normally do it. Sometimes I may just do them in half, but I feel like in the fours, it kind of distributes them out a little bit better for the color. And some of them are a little bit smaller, I may just do in two. But I usually use this whole little container. And you know, this has holes in the bottom, so you can rinse them really, really good and then just put them back in there. That's what I always do. But anyway, y'all let me know what's been going on with y'all. And let me know if you had any damage from the storms or any family or friends. Braden's good. He just wrote it out at home, like me and little Belle did, and she didn't really understand. Of course, I know she didn't know what was going on, but that one night, you know, when that tornado drill went off and my phone went off and everything started going off all at once, and it was so loud, and I jumped up out of the bed. And I just was like, come on, Belle, you know, we've got to go. We've got to get down here. I'm trying to wake up, see what's going on. I had just kind of dozed off a little bit after we had set up for so long. And so it was like she had no clue what was going on, but she knew to do what I said. It was like she just knew something's not right here. We've got to go. I mean, she was just running right there on my heels, bless her little heart. And so anyway, it all worked out. It ended up going north of us and went around us. And you know what, a thing that I find just not funny, but just crazy. Let me turn my water on. Get that going so we can get our pasta boiling. The thing that I find is that, you know, especially on social media, you know, people will come on and say, well, they had us all shook up and told us about all these storms, and then we didn't get nothing but a light rain and a little bit of thunder and this and that. You know, they just work you up, da-da-da. And it's like, me, I'm thinking, I'm so glad that it didn't escalate to what they had said was possible in my area. You know, I can't wrap my mind around people complaining about stuff like that. Like, they're not just getting on there telling you that for the heck of it. They're getting on there telling you that because it is heading in that direction, and then sometimes it shoots up, sometimes it, you know, calms down, it lessens, it just does all kinds of different stuff. So for people to complain about that, about not getting hit with a tornado because they said a tornado is coming, is just absurd to me. And especially whenever you have these people on there that have had everything they've ever owned and worked for destroyed, and possibly even lost their lives or family members' lives. So when people do that, I just have to get off social media because I can't handle stuff like that. I'm like, just be thankful. Like, if we're under a warning and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, you know, you're safe, it went around, I'm just like, thank God. You know, thank the Lord. I'm not mad because it didn't hit me right square in between the eyes because they said it was going to, you know. Like, it's just some things like that just amaze me, absolutely amaze me. Y'all know what I mean. So anyway, so what I like to do, y'all, I know I've showed y'all this with my pasta salad here. I have all my veggies here in a bowl, and so I like to just go ahead and start adding in some of my other stuff and kind of let those veggies marinate a little bit while we're waiting on the pasta to get done. I don't ever start the pasta until I'm completely done with this because I don't ever want to overcook it and get busy doing something like this and overcook it because I don't like it to be overcooked. But what I typically add in will be a whole, pretty much, I think I usually do a whole bottle of this. I haven't made one of these in a minute. And any kind you want. This is just the traditional. Sometimes I use Zesty, sometimes I use just the regular, and I use just all different brands, whatever I may have. I'm going to go ahead and put some of that on there, like that. Let's see. Yeah, we'll wait at that. And I like to add a little bit of extra seasonings. Y'all know I do a little bit of oregano, just a little sprinkle. I do a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of parsley, and y'all know I do my whole pack of Italian seasoning here, but I'm going to wait and put that on the pasta. But and then I do just a little bit of salt because that packet does have salt in it. So a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And then I also like to do a little bit of sugar. The sugar just helps balance it out. And I always do a taste test and then just see what I need to add after I add the packet and all that in, and then I go ahead and put a little bit of parm on here, and then I'll add some more later. Put that in there, and then let's give it a little mix. And we'll just let all this sit here while we wait on our pasta to get done. Oh yeah, I've got, like I said, I've got that pot roast in the oven. I was going to get it out and look at it. It's been in there now for, I guess, about 3 hours, so it's probably getting about ready for me to get it out. And like I said, I'm not eating all that. Some of that is going somewhere else. But I will have some of it. I'm not going to send all of it. Anyway, y'all see here, just some delicious veggies. They smell so good. Let me try one. Try a cucumber. I love those cucumbers. Y'all let me know if y'all use those. Anyway, I'm gonna put you on pause and we'll wait for my pasta to get out. Even though I'm not showing you a recipe, I'm gonna drain it and put it all together while I'm on here with you. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to go over with y'all. But just that I've missed y'all, and I've missed being in the kitchen cooking. Like I said, I get on these little, I don't know if you call it a lazy streak or what, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, what have I been doing? I got so much I've got to do. I've got to get caught up on this. I've got all this food I need to cook. I had just went to the grocery right before all that came about with the storms, and so that's why I said I ended up having these vegetables I needed to use and just all this stuff. And I thought, goodness, I don't want that stuff to go to waste. You know, I hate wasting. I don't know if I got that from my grandmother growing up or what, but I just do not like to waste. And Braden is the exact same way. He was like that when he was a little child, and it was always the sweetest thing. But anyway, I'm just going to cook our pasta. You know, I heat it with cold water. As soon as I get done, I will salt the boiling water. And then we'll get that in here. We'll get our little packet. You know, this is one of the little secret things that I always do along with the bottle of dressing too. It just kind of gives it a little something extra. And I'll put that on there whenever we put the pasta in. But I'll try to think if there's something else I want to talk to y'all about, and I'll be back. Hey y'all, I moved all of that out of the way for a second with our pasta salad. And I'm going to get this roast out and we're going to look at it. It has been cooking now, so let's see, for about almost 4 hours. That's typically about how long I like to cook a roast, whether it has potatoes, carrots in it or not. Just as far as the meat goes, that's about how long I like for it to cook. To get as tender as I like for it to be. Ooh, look at that, y'all. Let's see. Got me a fork and a spoon here. Oh, yeah. See, that's how I like for it to be. When I can just pull a big piece of that meat off just gently. I don't want to have to tug and pull at it. I like for it to just come off nicely, just like that. Look at that, y'all. And I know the vegetables are done. And you just want to, you know, you always just want to kind of gently toss them around because they're soft and you don't want to mush them up. So I just usually give them a nice little mix like that. That looks perfect. Delicious. Smell. I wish I was here to smell this and get you a bow of it. Look at it. All right, what I'm going to do to get this pasta salad made, I'm just going to turn the oven off, but I'm going to put the lid back on it and just sit it in there for the time being. It's good and done and ready to go. And when I come back, I'm going to get that drained and we'll mix up our pasta salad. All right, y'all. I've got my pasta drained and cooled off. Some good cold water. We're going to finish this thing up. So let's go ahead and do our dressing here. I'm going to take that little piece of paper off. It's kind of aggravating. And as far as the roast goes, like I said, I didn't do a video. I know I've done several roast videos with y'all before. I don't know that I've ever done that one. The one that I did today was my very first chuck roast recipe that I did for years. And when I say that, I'm meaning like before the what they call the Mississippi roast with the ranch and all of that stuff. This is one I made before that came out. Now, I'm not talking down on that one. I love it, and I make it all the time. But I like my old one, too. And so today, that was what I made, was the old style. And it's really good. It's very simple. So what I might do, since I didn't do a video of it, like I said, I can't remember if I've ever done one. I'd have to go back and look. But I may just post a picture of it and just kind of give the description of it in the post and just kind of tell you what I used. It's a few ingredients. It's simple. There's different ways you can even do it. Actually, the recipe that I first kind of started by, the little guide, I guess you would say, because I always say a recipe is a guide, and then you do with it what you want. And so the recipe was like, I think, a Paula Deen, and she did just the roast itself. She put onions in there, but that's it. No carrots, no potatoes. And so I would make it, and then I would go ahead and put carrots in it, because Kanan loved those cooked carrots in a roast. He always called them fried carrots. But I would do it like that. I would throw the carrots in, and then I would do it with mashed potatoes, because that gravy that this one makes, y'all, is so, so good. So I would do mashed potatoes and then another side dish, probably most likely green beans. So that's how I made it for years until I started doing the other one. But this one today, I went on ahead and did the carrots, potatoes, and put everything in it, and just added a little bit of extra liquid and just some extra stuff to make up that flavor, you know, and put a little more liquid in there for the difference of the stuff. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll just do a picture, and I'll just kind of explain to y'all the things that I used. I want y'all to try it. It's really, really good. It will remind you of like the old school pot roast that you used to eat before they come out with all this new stuff, which I love the new ones too. So I'm guilty of forgetting about my old ones, but today I thought I'm going back to my old way, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I did. But our pasta salad here looks great, y'all. Look at it. Doesn't that look good? I love a good pasta salad. I love having this in the fridge. I might as well go ahead and use the rest of this Italian. You know, it will soak up some as it's... Oh, and I swapped my bowl, if y'all can tell. I don't know what in the world made me get that bowl out, because I never use that bowl. And I like a big bowl where I can do a lot of mixing. Y'all know that. So last thing I'm going to do is just put a little bit more parm on top of it, and then I'm going to pop it in the fridge and just let it chill for a while, and then I'll do a taste test and see if I need to add anything else to it. But this is it for now. I'm going to get this in there. I'm going to get this roast out of the oven. I've just got it sitting in there. I turned the oven off, like I had said. And y'all be seeing a post about that. Just be patient with me. Give me time to get it on there and get it up. And then I'm going to do my little Easter dessert recipe. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all, I was thinking about this while we were on pause. If this little dessert does not turn out any better than the pumpkin cookie thing that I did last year or year before, then I'm not posting it. All right, so y'all remember what a disaster that was. I know y'all are always going to remember, and I am too. It was a disaster, and I don't know why I even posted it. It wasn't alive, so I could have not posted it, and so why I did, I don't know. But I guess just to show my true self, I don't know. But I have good high hopes that this one is going to turn out way better than that one. But anyway, I'm just glad to be back with y'all. Like I said, I got lots of ideas for these next few days. And y'all have a good night, and I'll be seeing you soon.